Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i.
And a big thanks to Furman BMW in Palm Harbor, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium or performance car or SUV in the Palm Harbor or Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the X5 has been BMW's mid-size luxury performance crossover SUV since 1999. The 4th generation X5 that you see here was released in 2019, facelifted last year for 2024, and for 2025 the X5 gets a new lane change assist feature designed to read the driver's eyes and change lanes depending on which rear view mirror the driver looks at. The 2025 BMW X5 is available in 4 trim levels outside of the M models, ranging from the $65,000 two-wheel drive Xdrive40i up to the $90,000 M60i with the $73,000 Xdrive40i sitting in the middle. Here we have the 4-wheel drive Xdrive40i sitting a tick under $69,000 for the base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So as far as styling, we got a facelift last year for 2024. Visually, not much changes here for 2025. Still a really clean looking front end. Without the M Sport package, we still get the aluminum trim up front. It's not blacked out, but with the aluminum trim as opposed to the chrome, I think the front end looks really clean. Black headlight housing, BMW LEDs, LED daytime running lights, and dual projectors for the high and low beam. Forward-facing camera, full front parking sensing, panel housing your advanced safety features down below, and we get functional airflow in both corners. The wheel and tire setup's a little bit more on the basic side here on this relatively base Xdrive40i, but I still really like these Y-spoke wheels. They're 20-inch rims wrapped in Bridgestone Alenza RFT Sport A/S tires. I believe they're a 3-season tire. They're more towards the summer performance side of things, but they're not categorized as a strict summer performance tire, and they're not categorized as a strict all-season, sitting somewhere in the middle. Pretty aggressive brake caliper though. The dimensions for these tires are 275, 45, R20 for the front and rear. So you can do tire rotations, and with these 45 series sidewall, the ride quality, as you'll see when we take this car out for a drive, is really good. We get some plastic cladding for the wheel wells and rocker panel side skirt area with some aluminum trim contrasting it. You get a heat extractor in the corner, also some aluminum trim, body color mirror, LED turn signal on it, additional camera helping us out with a 360. We have blind spot monitoring on the glass, all aluminum trim for the window trim. I'll try to take a step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the side profile here on this 2025 BMW X5. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. The pre-facelifted X5s also had smart access in the rear, but the post-facelifted X5s for some reason did not. We have the same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper, more of that plastic cladding for the wheel well area, full rear parking sensing, and the dual exhaust tips. We'll get more into that in 1 second. Shout out Furman BMW here in Palm Harbor, Florida for helping make this review possible. Full LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights, X5 badge in the lower left corner, Xdrive40i in the lower right corner, wiper right above your BMW badge with the 3rd brake light up top, and a sort of shark fin style antenna. Hopefully you can pick up the rear differential and suspension setup down below. We mentioned the dual exhaust tips. They are outlined in some aluminum trim, kind of carrying along the theme here for this X5 without the M Sport package. But speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 3-liter straight 6 twin scroll turbo B58 6-cylinder, and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 3-liter straight 6 B58 twin scroll turbo sold by BMW for the 2025 X5 Xdrive40i. And it sounds okay in this application, but making a ton of power at 375 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to all 4 wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 in the high 4-second range, which for a high 4,000, like 4,900 pound SUV, that is really, really quick. We appreciate the hydraulic struts. The 4 sets of strut tower braces should help the handling out tremendously. We get active shutters for the grille so you can't see the additional supports in front of the radiator and intercooler, but all of that makes this one of the most capable luxury SUVs out on the road today, especially considering the price point. We can shut the hood right down. Very light process. The hydraulic struts feel really, really premium, but taking a step inside, speaking of really, really premium, let's see what we got going on this relatively base 2025 BMW X5. So up top you get leather stitching in the center with a very soft armrest, 4-window auto one touch, lock and unlock, aluminum door handle, 2-person memory seats, trunk release, 4-way adjustable mirrors, and their power folding. Solid amount of storage down below, aluminum trim separating the 2 tiers of materials with soft touch for the actual bottom portion. That's not something that you get on any X3, even on the M models. We get 2 speakers on the door panel. It's not the Bowers & Wilkins or Harman Kardon system, but it still sounds really good for a bass system. A little bit of wood trim. I mentioned the soft touch materials, and you'll fit probably 4 footlongs in this compartment and easily fitting a big gulp, but it's sideways. Make sure the lid is tightly closed. The seats are beautiful. We get these quilted and perforated black Sensifin seats. They're not the genuine leather seats, but couldn't fool me. They look, feel, and smell just like the real thing. Unbelievably comfortable. Not worth the upgrade, in my opinion, to any of those Vernasa leather seats. Fully adjustable too, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide, 4-way lumbar control with adjustable bolsters and thigh support. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So compared to the 2024 X5 reviewed in this channel, really not a whole lot has changed. The dual screens are the biggest difference. That's what was added for the 2024 facelift. As far as the interior, the steering wheel, it's thick. It's not quite as thick as the X3 M40i. The 10-2 bolstering notch is solid. 9-3 feels pretty good. We get some stitching for the horn area. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do not get dual panes in the X5. Got to go up to the X7 if you want dual panes, but even with the single pane windows, it is really quiet in here. We get the aluminum paddle shifters, cruise control, radar cruise control on the left side, and the right side volume and skip controls, hang up and answer your phone calls, voice commands, and the adjustments for the infotainment. So right now we're looking at our content adjustments, trip data, route preview, pretty cool, takes a second to load up. Map also takes a second. G meter, and our media/radio. My personal favorite would be to leave it at the map, so we'll leave it there. The layout can also be adjusted between 3 different screens, but the screen that we were in originally is probably my personal favorite. We can also adjust the heads-up display. Right now we're looking at directional view. We can also check out standard view. Beneath directional view is sport view, reduced view, and my personal favorite would probably be sport view, so we will leave it there. This would probably be my personal favorite layout for the heads-up display and the digital gauge display. It's a 12.3-inch digital gauge display, I believe a 12.3-inch heads-up display too, with a 14.9-inch infotainment display. It is massive. One complaint, probably my only complaint with this display, is that all of the climate adjustments outside of the defrosters are adjusted through the touchscreen, which I know you get used to. It's really not that big of a deal, but I personally prefer the iDrive 7 system strictly because of the climate adjustments having the hard buttons. Outside of that, this is an incredible system. You guys can check all of it out. The map has excellent response, great resolution, one of the best in the business. Personal assistant, I don't want to get that thing voice activated because as I speak throughout this review, it's going to continuously yell at me. We can check out our map alone. You can see all the shortcuts and inputs. Climate controls right next to it, our home screen we were just at, and our overall apps and settings. Hopefully you guys can pick up all of these. Pause, take a look. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course. We'll return right back to the climate screen. We get heated seats, no ventilated seats unfortunately, but we get a heated steering wheel as well. My personal favorite screen to leave it at all times would probably be the home screen, so we'll leave it there. Wood trim underneath, all leatherette stitched for the dashboard. The air vents have some aluminum outside of them, gloss black for the actual air vent. The headliner has a really premium soft touch to it. We mentioned the defrosters, hazards in the middle. The air vents have some carbon fiber-ish trim in the middle of them and a very high quality feel for the actual adjustment for it. The volume dial has an okay feel. I kind of wish it felt a little bit more premium, but pretty nitpicky complaint. Leather stitching for your knee will often hit. Wood grain trim for the center stack area. You can also access a little bit more wood if you close this lid, and it feels very premium. We got our 12-volt, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles with no problem. Wireless phone charging pad and a nice storage slot right next to it. You can turn off the traction control, turn off the parking sensors, engine start stop behind it, drive mode selectors, Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro. We'll start the review off in Comfort. Try out Eco Pro and try out Sport and just see what the differences are. We get our hill descent control, electronic parking brake with auto hold, gear selector control, and the 8-speed automatic transmission. The backup camera, let's check it out. Super high resolution, guidance lines, and trajectory. And we get the optional 360-degree camera, which is part of a $900 optional equipment group, which is one of the only options I would necessarily say are one of the must-haves on the 2025 BMW X5. We get parking view, we can check it out, our assist view, and you can see your rear cross traffic alert, panorama view, hides your 360. We also get our 3D view. With the 3D view, you can use this dial and twist 2025 X5 all around. You can also use it with touch sensitive function and just press exactly what you would like to see. Press more again, you can see our car wash view. Now it gives us a forward face view. You can see somebody walking in front of our X5 right now, and it picks up on the screen. Very high quality overall display. But the front sensors give us trajectory too, so you can line up the front wheels exactly where you'd like it. And we can also check out the settings, which we're not going to do in this review. My personal favorite would be the parking view, the most practical, but it's nice to be able to get all those potential adjustments. And in this 360, you can also have adjustments for exactly what part of the backup camera you see. Also really cool. Throwing right back into park. Unfortunately, we stay in the backup camera mode. We got to go back to the home screen manually, but really not too big of a deal. We mentioned the dial too. It adjusts this touchscreen infotainment screen if you don't want to get fingerprints all over it, with shortcuts for media, telephone, home, map, navigation, back, and options. The armrests are gushy soft, and we get the optional heated armrest too, aluminum button to open up the center console, and it's spacious. You'll fit probably 7, maybe 8 12-ounce bottles in here, USB-C port, and an LED light for the center console. The glove box, aluminum latch. It is really well damped, takes forever to come down. Lined in felt and massive. Hopefully you can pick up just how massive that glove box really is. You'll fit probably 30, 40 license plates in there, probably at least 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. Basically frameless, auto-dimming rear view mirror with 3 garage home wing settings on it. Interior lights are LED. We get the massive panoramic moonroof here too. Opens up decently quickly. The front panel of glass that actually opens isn't the largest, but the back panel that the back passengers will see through is massive. To open up the actual glass, press and hold. The moonroof goes on top of the second panel, so it sticks out a little bit like a sore thumb. We'll see if it goes out any further. It does. So just about to the end of the front row, we can poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Palm Harbor, Florida. Sunny and 86 degrees, but it's only 10 a.m., so I'm sure it's going to get a lot harder throughout the day. We'll shut the glass right up, leave the shade open, so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it, at least for the front seat of this 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i with a $68,000 base price, $650 for the Skyscraper Gray Metallic, $900 for the parking assistance package that includes our 360-degree camera, parking assistant professional, and the active park distance control. $300 for the remote engine start, $350 for the heated armrests, $1,100 for the live cockpit pro that gives us the heads up display, $1,175 for the destination, totals us out at $72,475. We are getting up there in price, but considering the equipment, the luxurious feel, and the performance of this luxury SUV, you definitely get your money's worth. More of the standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. Fuel economy also unbelievable, considering we have basically a 400 horsepower, 400 foot-pound of torque, twin scroll turbo 6-cylinder, getting 25 combined MPGs. That is absolutely ridiculous. Definitely one of the best balances of luxury, performance, and efficiency on the road today. That's about it for the front seat though, guys. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. Of course, it is locked. These new BMWs, as soon as you close the front door, it locks the rest of the vehicle. So see, you have to open up the back before the front door opens. That's the trick. It's a cool safety trick, but for my reviews, I guess it gets a little bit in the way. Up top, out back, we still get the leather stitching. It's just a synthetic Synthetech here. It's not the Vernasa leather, but it still feels and smells, looks just like the real thing. Stitching in the center, gushy soft armrest, auto one touch window, aluminum door handle, and we get that soft touch continued out back for the bottom part of the door panel. you'll stack probably 2 or 3 footlongs on top of each other. Another big gulp will fit back here, but again, sideways, make sure the lid is tightly closed. The rear seats, still that beautiful diamond stitch quilted perforated leatherette trim. Definitely one of the nicest looking seats in the segment. The padding goes all the way out to the door frame. The seats fold down, but unfortunately, they don't recline. So this is the full recline mode. It's still a pretty decent recline, but it would be nice to get an adjustment for it. Legroom looks impressive. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 4 or 5 inches of knee room, headroom. Got about 1.5 inches of it. So you get about 1 inch more of knee room and about 1/2 inch more of headroom as compared to an X3. So yes, anybody under 6'6", 6'7" should be able to sit in the back of an X5 with no problem. X3, you'll probably rather limit it to 6'4", 6'5". So for me, I think the X3 M40i is more than spacious enough. But if you'd rather have that extra 1.5 inch shoulder room, inch of headroom, inch of leg room, definitely go for the X5. We get the latches back here for iPads, USB-C ports too, map pockets behind both of the front seats. We get vent adjustments and sort of a 3rd zone climate control. It's not digital, but it's functional. You can adjust between cold and hot, and you can also adjust the speed of the vents all manually with the air vents in the center. 2 tiers of storage, and you get 2 additional USB-C ports with a 12 volt right next to it on the bottom. Ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive panoramic moonroof. Definitely appreciate here on this luxury performance SUV. We get a string to pull down this armrest. It is decently soft. It's not the softest. As you guys can hear, it could be softer, but we do get a little bit of storage back here. It reminds me a little bit of the Ram 1500 for the higher trims. We get like an almost actual console for the back seat. You'll fit a ton of car accessories back here. I just wish they gave us a little bit more padding for the armrest. The cup holders, they pull out. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles in there, and they close pretty easily as well. The interior lights back here are LED. We get hooks for both of the grab handles in the back seat. If I didn't mention too, we get this aluminum trim running throughout this interior with ambient lighting. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat of the 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i. Let's hop out back, check out the cargo space, see how much space is offered back here, and then take this 2025 X5 Xdrive40i out for a drive. So as you see, we get a large trunk, and one of the big reasons to go with an X5 is simply this tailgate feature. As you see, you press the button and the whole boot kind of drops down, allowing it to have almost a pickup truck style tailgate. I believe it can hold over 400 pounds, so 2 full-size adults can easily sit on this tailgate in the back of the 2025 X5. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much cargo space is back here with the 2nd row up and with the 2nd row down. The 2nd row folds down 40, 40, 20. Latches are in each corner, and with these wheel wells not protruding a whole lot, I'd expect you to fit an 85-inch TV back here with no problem. Definitely not something you can say with all mid-size SUVs, but this is one of the larger and more practical ones in the segment. As far as secret storage, we take a quick look. We get a hydraulic strut for it. That's a premium touch. Some of your emergency equipment, and enough storage down here to store probably 3 or 4 backpacks. Definitely a very solid amount of space. But we can lift this tailgate right back up. With the click of a button, it does so really quickly. And we also have a sunshade cargo cover for the trunk as well. There's 2 buttons to drop the liftgate. This button drops the liftgate, this button drops it and locks the SUV. We don't need a lock, so we'll press the button on the left. It immediately closes, so be aware of that so you don't get duped in the head if you're holding grocery bags. But that's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i. One of the best sellers from BMW's lineup, and for good reason. It is spacious, it's practical, it looks really good, it's comfortable, and it is a great performer. Speaking of great performer, let's take this 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2025 BMW X5 Xdrive40i. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, in comfort mode, the steering is silky smooth. One of the lightest steering racks in the business in the BMW new lineup. Throttle response, even in eco or comfort mode, feels very solid. Taking a step out here, about 3rd throttle. Whoo! Yeah, guys, this thing can pick up speed really well, and that's just comfort mode. Let's try it out in eco mode. See what changes up, the display changes up, steering feels even lighter in eco mode. Brakes feel about the same. We'll see how the throttle feels right over here. About third throttle, way less sensitive. It still feels fine. For city driving, I'd actually leave it in eco mode, but for overall daily driving, I'd probably leave it in comfort. Sport mode, let's see what we got. Immediately the transmission starts to feel more aggressive. The steering feels a little bit heavier, but even in sport mode, the steering here feels a lot lighter than anything with an M from the BMW lineup. We'll try out these paddles too. Taking a step out here, lean into it. On the gas. Woo! Yeah, that feels really, really strong still. The B58 is a monster. No, it doesn't feel as strong as like the X3 M40i, but it's surprisingly close. Good mid-range. It picks up speed really well. And we'll throw it back into comfort mode. It's dead silent in here. You don't hear any road noise, and the wind noise is just about non-existent. It doesn't really take a whole lot of throttle to keep up with traffic or just keep up with highway speeds in comfort mode. And I'm sure the same thing would apply to eco mode. Really quiet ride. The heads-up display is clear and crisp, and steering is silky smooth while still being nice, sharp, responsive, and direct. We'll try the real-world turning radius, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, real-world turning radius. This is a tight U-turn, but it made it. About half throttle in eco or comfort. I keep confusing comfort and eco, but in comfort mode, this SUV feels unbelievably luxurious while still offering a ton of performance. This is an impressive luxury sporty SUV. Hopefully you can just pick up how quiet this interior is on camera with a really powerful engine to back it up as well. Through the twisty, the steering feels nice in comfort mode. All right, guys, one more real-world turning radius. Hopefully this guy lets me go. Looks like he is. Sharp turning radius and about half throttle. Really sharp acceleration in comfort mode. Very quiet sounding motor too. With the M40i from the X3, you hear a little bit more in the cabin with the motor, which I like. But if you're looking for the more luxurious vehicle and you don't prioritize performance nearly as much, this is without question the better vehicle. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a luxury SUV, you don't want to spend more than 70 to 75,000 bucks. You need all-wheel drive, you want good performance, and you want a truly luxurious SUV, and you're not looking for something in the compact segment. This 2024 BMW X5 is, without question, in my opinion, the most athletic luxury SUV available today, and emphasis on the luxury. I'm not just saying nice materials and a powerful power plant with a soft suspension. This is a fully well put together SUV, one of the best on the road today. And if that's what you're looking for, guys, I would 100% recommend checking out the 2025 BMW X5.